Now, these are my sun sign predictions for Taurus. So hi everyone, and thanks for joining me for your sun sign astrology. Basically, basic astrology, something simple about your sign for the year ahead. So let's have a look first of all at some of the things that are happening in the sky. First, there's going to be Pluto is moving into Aquarius. Now, Pluto is is the furthest out of the planet, so it moves very, very slowly, and it's moving into Aquarius from January the 20th. Until September the 1st, and then it's coming out of it for a while and back in again from November the 19th right through to March 2043. And Pluto deals with lots of the things involved with society at large and ages, as it were, the sort of eras we're entering. So Pluto entering Aquarius is a pretty good thing. We can have it there for the next 19 years. So this is good news for everybody, really, and good news for society generally and the world at large. It brings Pluto in Aquarius brings innovation of new ideas. It brings new opportunities, new inspiration, and hopefully some better human values. So with all the troubles we're getting in the world, it's an optimistic thing to have Pluto moving into Aquarius. This should open up lots of new beginnings, lots of new starts for us. There's going to be a number of eclipses in 2024, of course, and these are also give energy to the periods when there's an eclipse. And eclipses bring sort of transformation. Eclipses empower. They clear out the old and they bring in the new. So one of the most significant is going to be around September time, when there'll be an eclipse in the sign of Pisces. And this is positive news. And it's positive news again for the world because it can bring things like new inventions and new discoveries, medical discoveries and things like that. So that will be hopefully something good for the news for the world ahead. There's going to be the main eclipses are going to be Libra is going to have a full moon lunar eclipse on the 25th of March. Aries has a new moon solar eclipse on the 8th of April. Pisces, the full moon lunar eclipse on the 17th of September. And Libra's new moon solar eclipse on the 2nd of October. So the eclipses, so we get things like, you consider these dates as new starts, new ventures, times, any of those dates are good times to make changes. A lot of astrologers believe that solar eclipses are all about new beginnings, and lunar eclipses are clearing out the old. So those are the points of changing points in the times around ahead. Jupiter conjunct Venus in Taurus on the April the 20th, 2024. This happens around every 14 years because this is again the slow moving planets outside of the asteroid belt. This doesn't happen very often, but Jupiter in astrology is always a good sign, a planet of expansion. It magnifies anything. It brings good fortune. It's jovial. It's a positive. It brings prosperity, opportunity, optimism, hope, and more meaning to life as well. So we have Jupiter conjunct Uranus and Taurus on the 20th of April. That's another good energetic time for people. Lots of good things happening with Jupiter this year, particularly as its influence in Aquarius. And Uranus, of course, is the planet of change. It's also a planet of concerned with social awareness and evolution of humanity and things like this. It usually sits it's good in the sign of Aquarius again. So all this is quite positive news for the world ahead. Perhaps are going to be an energetic time for most of us. Actually, it collectively invites a kind of a new wave of thoughts of liberation, thoughts of freedom are going to be very important this year ahead in terms of the planets. Lots of changes, many elections happening around the world. These are all in my predictions, of course, but there's lots happening with that. So lots of changes, and often changes for the good, the way things are looking. Jupiter is going to be in Gemini on May 25th, right through to June the 9th. 2025, and this is a planet that can bring good luck and good fortune and abundance again, and it brings opportunities wherever it travels, and particularly when in Gemini. So all of these things are happening in the stars. These are all things that will influence all the signs. But now let's have a look at your individual sign. Now, this should be an unusual year for you, really, because you're normally quite a steady person who doesn't like to leap in too much, likes to take their time making decisions, is steady as they go very often. But this year in 2024, you've got Jupiter and Pluto making you a lot more sort of energetic. You've got also Uranus uniting in Taurus, because we've got that Jupiter and Uranus conjunction in Taurus, which I spoke about earlier, particularly in the first part of 2024. And this will make you less cautious. You'll be much more prepared to experiment. And because of the good positions of the stars and things at the moment with this, it means it's a good time to take chances, a good time to take risks, particularly in areas of relationships and jobs and new interests. Good time for a job change, for example, if you're thinking about that. Good times for new relationships, if that's important to you at this time. Hard work, though. Hard work in this first half of the year particularly, and right the way into the late spring and early summer times, when the energy is going to be hard going in terms of lots of work, but lots of opportunities to get things like promotions, make new steps in life, maybe either buying a new home or something like that. These are all good things that particularly at the beginning part of the year when your sign is really energized. So it's a good year for you in that respect. Similarly, with areas with your love and things like that, you'll enjoy a good period from the 1st of April right the way through to the 25th of April. April's going to be a very good month for you with all things romantic. Again, it's new things for you. It's a time of good time for finding new partners. It's particularly very good year for any Taurians who are looking to try to do new things or meet new people or make new starts. So it's literally a time when you can find love at any point in the year, even the second part of the year. All very good for love this year for you. So this is a time when you need to do things differently. This is the keynote, I think, for you. You can find your abundance, you can find your money, you can find new career breaks this year if you take advantage of it, because remember, the Taurian nature can be a little bit hesitant sometimes. You've got Jupiter again coming into your second house of finances from the May the 25th. And this could be something where you could make a very significant financial change in your life. Very good time if you were thinking about opening your own business or something like that. So this is a risky year, really, which Taurians don't usually like any form of risk, but it's a risky year, but that's going to bring its benefits. And it would be good for all sorts of things, for doing new things, even travel. Travel would be good for you too, because you'll be looking for new things and paying attention to new ideas. So there we go. So it's an interesting year. So be brave, Taurus. Go out there and take a chance. The stars are on your side if you go with it. So don't resist. Let that experimental side of your nature come to the fore, and I'm sure you'll have some good fortune in 2024. Well, I hope you enjoyed your sun sign astrology, as we call it. And of course, as you know, it can only be kind of quite simple, really. It will only cover the very basics of a star sign, but hopefully gain something from that and get a bit of an idea of the year ahead for 2024. But I want to tell you about something that's really, really fascinating, which is called the Nardy oracles. And now, some of you would have read about this in my books already and already explored this, but there's a system in India that goes back thousands and thousands of years, in which there was what's called the ancient rishis. Now, these were kind of like astrologers, but they were seers, and they could foresee the future of any person that would ever come and call upon those rishis, as it were. And they wrote it all down on palm leaves, which are like an Indian book made out of wood. like it looks like a sort of like rulers with it all written down in ancient Tamil language, and they wrote down the future of anybody that consults them. I consulted them, and it completely blew my mind. It tells you all about your life in total detail, even giving the name of your parents and the date and time of your birth. And even if you don't know the time of your birth, it will give it to you, and it will know your name, even if you don't give your name or anything like that. It's absolutely remarkable. Now, I was one of the first kind of modern YouTubers, or people in the West generally, to first start really exploring these ancient Nardi leaves. And now they've become available to anybody that wants to consult them. And it's very, very hard to get a proper Nardi reading. It's very, very hard to find this ancient wisdom source. There's Nardi readers out there that are complete fakes. And the good ones are now so booked up, they're now booked up years in advance. Now, where I've been working with the Nardi readers, they have agreed that the readings that come through me are given top priority. They jump the queue. So instead of having to wait years, you can wait just a few months to get your Nardi readings. Now, this may change. So if you want a Nardi reading through me, and a lot of you know about this already who follow the channels, if you want a Nardi reading from me, now is the time, because this window might close. So have a look in the description below, and what you're going to need to do is go to the link in the description below and then send me an email through the form on the site. Just the contact form on the site, and just say, Craig, I'd like to get a Nardi reading, can you put me in touch with them, or something like that, just so I know what it's about, and then I'll copy you in and send and forward your emails to the Nardi readers so that you get prioritized on getting a Nardi reading. There's a little bit on the page that explains what it is. But you really also, if you're going to do this, this is not like your normal astrology by any means whatsoever. It's a very, very powerful thing that can be very transformative in your life. And I'm not just going to flog you the book. I would like you to read the book if you do go into it. So have a look at my book, Messages from the Universe, in which I talk about what happens, how it happened to me, how I checked it all out for frauds and all the rest of it. And it just gives you some idea about what it's all about. I've also produced a film about it on Amazon Prime, which you can go and watch for free if you're an Amazon Prime member, called Mystic Journey to India. I had to think for a minute there, and you can learn about it as well. But if you want to know about the sort of astrology that'll leave you sort of mind boggled, then this is your chance. So have a look in the description below. Like I say, this window will not be open for long. This is probably going to be one of your last chances to get a Nardi reading. So if you're thinking about doing it, now's your time. Get in touch with me, guys, and I'll forward it through to you. Like they say, very few people can get their Nardis. That's why the door is closing, because so many have come to it, and there's only a few readers that are really, truly out there that can do this. There's lots that claim they can. There's only very, very, very few. They're so rare, as you'll read in the book if you've done do the research. Okay, there we go. I was not doing that just as an ad. I know that many of you are very interested in this. So, okay, thanks for joining me. And like I say, have a look at the description below. Don't forget to give me a like and give me a thumbs up, because that helps these videos to reach out further. And don't forget to follow my channel. And thanks for everything, for all your support, you guys, for all your support through 2023. And I think for a minute I've been saying 2024 all the time. All your thought and all your lovely comments and all those that have been patrons that have helped the site. Thank you, guys. And we wish you a happy new year for all of you. Okay, see you soon. Bye for now.